Hello everyone, this is your very own mentor Tooba, and I am back with the explanation of a very interesting PMP scenario that we posted last week on our LinkedIn channel, and we received an overwhelming response from your side on this scenario. So let's not wait and let's move towards that. The PMP scenario says that during a sprint, the team discovers that the estimated effort for one of the critical tasks is much higher than expected. What's the best way to handle the situation? Option A, re-estimate the task and add more resources to complete it within the sprint. Option B, notify the product owner and remove the task from the sprint to avoid impacting the sprint goal. Option C, break the task into smaller parts and reprioritize the sprint backlog in collaboration with the product owner. And option D, continue working on the task as planned and complete it in the next sprint if necessary. Most of you, I would say more than 95% responded with option C, which is the correct answer as well. Now, I am going to explain why and why A, B, and B are not the best choices. Okay, so first of all, why I chose this question to post it on my channel. For the reason that this is a very, very commonly happening situation in the agile environments. Every other day, team come across the issues of overestimation, underestimation during the sprint planning while the sprint is already ongoing, and they want some accommodation in the planned work. So the agile teams, the scrum masters, the product owner, and other stakeholders in the agile projects, they need to be aware that what's the recommended thing to do in this situation. And this is exactly what I'm going to explain. Maybe someone would say that, okay, if it is much higher than expected, maybe you just, take it to the product owner and he will take care of that. Or maybe someone else would say that if it is much higher than expected and it's an important work, maybe let's just focus on it and let's defer the other uh, planned items. Maybe someone would say that add more resources. Maybe someone would say that let's continue with what we planned, because in Agile, you can't really change the backlog once it is planned. There can be multiple thoughts. And I know you must be thinking along the same line, because this is highly likely a chance that you are not doing the right thing or the best thing to do in this scenario. So let's learn together. First of all, I'm going to explain why the wrong choices are wrong, and then I'm going to explain why right choice is the right choice. Again, I'm going to put a strong emphasis on some uh, some points or some key statements that you need to understand before jumping to the answer option. It's a running sprint. You are in the sprint execution. Then this situation, you can call it an issue, but this is a situation that the estimated effort for one of the critical tasks. Now, this is a very important keyword, is much higher than expected. This is another very important thing to focus on, that the importance or the criticality or urgency of this task, which is actually underestimated, is way higher than the other planned items in the sprint backlog. Now, what is the best way? Maybe there are other ways as well. And like I said, there can be multiple possible multiple possible options. But the best way or the best recommended way from the Scrum framework perspective is option C. So let's see why option A is not a recommended choice. Re-estimate the task and add more resources to complete it within the sprint. See, there is no harm in going for that, but we can't assume that this is the only option that we have. In fact, adding more resources is never or most likely not going to be your first choice, because it's going to increase your budget. Who likes an increase in budget as a first option? Maybe you would yourself deny that no, we are very like stringent on resources or their availability or the budget or cost perspective. Maybe someone else would say that no, in our case, the task is so much critical that we would like to like increase the resources or budget, and we are okay with that. Possibly, yes, but not the best thing to do until and unless we would have more context. So it can be one of the possible choices, but it's not the best way to handle the situation. Right? The question is asking about the best way, not the possible way. Then why B is not an answer? B is definitely not an answer for multiple ways, because this question is clearly stating that the task or the backlog item, sprint backlog item is a critical one. So how can you just notify the product owner? Product owner is the owner of the backlog. He is expected to contribute in this situation way more than just getting notified. Number one. Number two, if it is a critical task, am I going to be a sane person if I remove the task from the current sprint backlog? Most likely no, because it's a critical one. And thirdly, nowhere in the question it is stating that the overestimation of the the underestimation of the task is impacting the sprint goal. We can't assume things which is not stated in the scenario. So on these grounds, B can't be a choice. D is the I would say best competition for option C. Maybe someone would say that why B can't be an option, that why we can't just continue working on the task as planned, and if it is overrun, just in case, then we would just do that, or we will just carry forward that in the next sprint if need be. This possibly can be a case. Maybe if this happens, if this situation happens in your real world projects, maybe you would do that as well. However, this is not going to be the best thing to do. This is our reactive or laid back approach. Because clearly in the question, this is a critical task. Right? And also, you are not really clear on how much it is underestimated during the plan. So just continue working on the task as expected. For instance, if it was planned for 5 story points, and now you are expecting 8 story points, and the whole sprint is actually on the span of 2 weeks. Are you only going to work on this task? Are you not going to work on the other, accepted items in the sprint? How you are going to deal with that? Right? Or what if it is like way more than 8 story points? Right? Are you just going to continue that over the span of 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Maybe you don't have that much time. You can't assume things, right? Because this is critical, and most likely it is needed in the current sprint. So on that ground, it is necessary. It's not good to have. It's necessary that you along with your product owner, of course, because product owner is the final say on this re-estimation. You as a team are going to re-estimate from that point onward, wherever you are standing in your sprint execution, you re-estimate the backlog. You understand that how critical and how much estimation is needed for this critical work. What other items needs to be re-estimated, reprioritized, or whatsoever is the situation. Maybe they are expected to take out from the current sprint. Maybe they are expected to move back to the product backlog, whatever product owner suggests, because he is the person who has the final say on what to include or what to remove. Team only can suggest. Scrum Master only can suggest, right? But if you are just if first of all, it's not your call as a team, it's a product owner's call. Secondly, even if the product owner is going to say that no, just continue with the work as planned and we will take care of that, then he would definitely have a holistic picture of why this is the best thing to do. But let him say that, which is why C is the most appropriate thing to do in this situation. That you further break down this item into more granular or smaller pieces if possible. Sit with the product owner and reprioritize this item along with the other items which had been accepted in the sprint backlog in the planning meeting. And whatever the best arrangement for this situation is needed based on the additional information that you have received during the sprint execution, it should be done. And if it requires realignment of your currently going sprint, you should go for that. Though it's not the ideal thing to do, then when a sprint is ongoing, you should not be changing its backlog. But if it is impacting the sprint goal, or if it is about something critical to be delivered in the current sprint, which has been underestimated, overestimated, then it's not a bad thing to do. Because at the end of the day, it's about delivery. If the sprint is not able to deliver the right value, then probably it's not doing its part in the incremental delivery towards the product development. So that's the reason why C is the right option. I hope you like this explanation. I will see you soon with the new question answer scenario and its explanation in my next video. Till that, take care. Bye.